Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us live, and thank you so much if you're watching the replay. And there's an echo, and I'm gonna go crazy about it.
Well,
Why is there an echo again?
see how long it goes.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hello?
We had an echo before, but it went away, so let's hope that it's going to stop.
Tiny hands.
Whoop, get your tiny hands up.
I don't
Mine is too far away, but
small. And I love seeing your hair down, Gerald. I think it's the first time.
Thank you. I was telling Orshi that I have new headphone or earphones, and I'm hoping that they work. So the notice just popped, Orshi.
yes, so thank you so much.
Yep.
So,
But we're echoing.
so
I don't know. Should we try to ask Minnassa to come?
No, you gotta do it in Hollywood style. You gotta keep going. Once you start filming, gotta keep going.
there
Yeah,
you go.
but-
Either that, or do you have headsets, Minnassa?
Not in this room, but I can go get them.
Can we try that?
Okay.
Thank you. I mean, sorry about all this.
You know what? This is what happens. We
Doesn't
cooperate.
it feel like that Mercury is retrograde these days, even though it's not?
Can you mute Minnassa to see if that works from her angle?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
just until she comes back,
Yes.
obviously.
So,
Because,
hi, Tanya Riley.
she's the guest of honor. Gerald is the surprise, an extra bonus, obviously.
And I want to say, look at the way you have the branding. This matches her stuff
Ooh,
very well, and I
yes.
match her stuff very well also.
And
So,
your, the dividers for the wheel matches the color as well.
yes,
I don't have anything,
we totally did this on purpose, people.
obviously. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Tanya Riley. Hi.
Hi,
Coming
Tanya.
in. It's an unusual time, so I don't know how many people will even realize that we're live, but you can join the conversation in later, because while Minnassa is getting the headphones, I'm gonna just quickly tell you what I had in mind. Honestly, when I asked her to come, and it's she's not here, but when I asked her to come on my channel, I was just like, I wanna have her on the channel. I don't care what we're talking about. I just want her on my channel. But then things happened, and I kind of wanted to talk about serious stuff, but I'm gonna unmute.
Try unmuting her.
Unmuting.
Okay, this is with my old style
Oh, cool.
headphones.
I mean, for me, it works. Does it work for you, Gerald? Cool.
Yes.
Orshi, what is your astrological sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, my crazy Aquarius. I thought you were Capricorn trying to get everything so perfect.
No,
My
it's
crazy
interesting.
Aquarius.
No, I mean, usually people can tell. I mean, okay, my hair is not purple anymore, which is always, like a dead giveaway. But yeah, I mean, I'm an Aquarius, a Libra rising, and a Taurus moon, which I think just summarizes me so well.
That's right. That's your groundedness. That was where you want things in order. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much, which is kind of funny. But okay, Lily is your daughter?
Lily is my daughter.
Yeah, okay. Hi, Lily, how are you doing? So I was
Hi,
just saying
Lily.
that when I saw you talking to Richie, I was just like, I want to have you on my channel. I don't care what we talk
I know.
about, honestly.
She is
Minnassa on my channel.
this human being
Yes.
has some power that is like radiating, and
Exactly.
I'm like going, pay attention, people, pay attention.
And be like me,
mean,
if you have a chance, just ask people to come on to your channel. So
Indeed.
do that.
Apparently, Gerald, when we go backstage after the show, I got a date. I want to tell you something.
Ooh.
Okay. And everybody, this is Tara Living with Minnassa, who it was so nice of Lily to put that background up because it coordinates with the branding, this branding.
Color.
And
Indeed,
I
it is
actually
perfect.
coordinate with it. And so,
That's
there we
yes.
go. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Lily, hurry, come do this. She just had her wisdom teeth out, so she's not feeling 100%. I'm like, come do this.
Yeah.
Oh. How old is she?
She is 29 for 17, 18, 19 more days.
Oh, happy early birthday then.
Her birthday's July 14th, so.
That's
Nice.
that's a good number for a birthday. I mean, no, nothing can beat the 1st of February.
It's like, oh
But
Lord. Now I see the crazy Aquarius coming out.
Now,
yeah,
what are you,
obviously.
Minnassa? What are you?
Yeah.
I am Virgo Sun,
Oh, okay.
Sagittarius Moon, and
Mm.
Libra Rising. So
Libra
that's why
rising.
I'm a Virgo that's a slob, because the Sagittarius says, no, you're not going to control me. I'm going to be wild and do whatever I want.
That's why I like you. I think that's my Aquarius and the Sagittarius.
That's right.
There's
That's
connection
right.
there.
That's my daughter will tell me sometimes. I'll be like, I'm not going to. She's like, Mom, control your Sagittarius. Like, okay.
And
Okay.
it's so funny that because when you
Are
grow
you
up,
thinking now? Are you still my friend after that reveal, Gerald?
Oh, yeah, I'm a Scorpio, Cancer. I can
I
handle
know.
anybody.
I know.
which is
We
like
call
so
it,
funny because the first thing that you read when you check your horoscope is which sign you're not compatible with, and for me it's Scorpio, and I have 1, 2, 3 best friends. They are all Scorpios. I have a sister, and I have other people in the community, and they are all Scorpios, and I'm like, what the fuck is this happening? And it's kind of interesting.
and it is interesting. I think what it does is it just informs some of our natural tendencies,
Yeah.
but with anything, tendencies can be adjusted. We learn and grow as human beings because this Scorpio Cancer at age 6 is different than he is at age
Yeah.
55.
True.
Obviously.
True.
So
Yeah.
Well, I was
But
giggling to
it's kind of
myself
interesting. Sorry.
because Scorpios can have a tendency to be jealous, and then Cancers can be very loving and nurturing, and sometimes get possessive. So I was giggling to myself the other day. I was on Richie had my favorite gents. These are my 3 favorite men on this planet. Now, Lily's going to tell her godfather that I said that. He's always number 1. No one can replace him.
good.
Gerald, Richie, and Ben. And we're on
Yeah.
the show. And I ask a question. I usually don't ask questions of people, but these 3 I want to get it. And then Gerald's like, I'm sure Minnassa's at work. She's always working. I thought, okay, Scorpio, don't get jealous about that. You've got my attention right now. I'm in my own office. You have my attention. No one else has my attention right now. I thought, oh, Lord, come on now.
Yeah.
Just
And
so
by the
long as
way,
you took
Richie
it
and
the way
Ben.
it was intended.
Yeah, Richie and
Came in
Ben
love. I
were
received it
invited
in that
too,
way.
but
But it just made me laugh. I was like,
yeah,
hold
they're
up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All
and I
right,
just
Orchie.
wanted to say that before we jump into seriousness, or not, I don't know, to be honest. That how interesting that when you grow up, you just know your sun sign, and you're trying to fit your whole personality into one sign. At least
Yes.
that's what I
Mhm.
did. I was like, but I'm not a typical Aquarius because I'm not the shy. I mean, I was shy, but not in that artistic. Oh, I'm from a different planet. I hate Aquariuses are aliens. I hate that. It just bothers me. I don't know why. Because probably I'm like, I'm not like anybody else. Like, don't tell me that I'm
That's
like
right. That's
any
that's
other
right.
Aquarius. But yeah, I know, which is typical Aquarius. But I'm like, I don't care. But as soon as I realized what my Libra side, is responsible for, that I get my multiple point of view from that, not from Aquarius, which I always thought that was from there, and how I handle my emotions, which is the Taurus, which is very, stubborn, and I was like, that makes sense. So a lot of people are like, oh, everybody asks these 3 things, but just like with Harry Potter houses, if you know which you belong to, it kind of gives you an idea of what the other person can be. Obviously,
Right.
you're not going to be that always and all the time, but it's a good baseline, I think.
So I'll shout out Hufflepuff. That's my house.
Yeah. We have a lot. I mean, we need a 4th person with like Richie with Slytherin.
We need Richie because he's Slytherin.
It's,
I'm Ravenclaw.
that's
Yeah, and
Lily's
I'm a
house.
Gryffindor, and I'm a
Of course,
typical.
Scorpio, Cancer. Lily Cancer would be in there. And then you're Gryffindor?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm basic in a lot of senses, and yeah.
That's not basic.
In a good way. I mean,
In a good way.
when
Okay.
I say I'm basic, I mean it as a good way, because
All
it
right.
does have that negative, you're a basic bitch, but no, I'm just like an average person. I don't know, which
Okay.
is go against everything which is an Aquarius is. So, hmm.
Well, I know you said that you didn't want to talk about serious things, but one of the things that I did my little I did my little research, so I was surprised to find out that Hungary has a woman president.
No,
No, what is it?
no,
Woman
we
prime minister? You
uh,
have one?
the prime minister is an asshole who's in power for way too long, and there's all-time corruption, all-time high corruption,
Oh
and
my lord!
yeah, it's
Did you
I
used to
always
have a
say
woman president?
it's not a president. She's, I don't even know what her official title is. She's
Oh,
the one
okay.
who's supposed to be representing the people,
Oh, okay. So you
and
do have a
she's the,
parliamentary government?
yes, and
Okay.
instead she's the, she's that conservative type of line where she's like, yes, a woman's job is to be a mother and be in the kitchen and shut up and let the man lead the way because that's how things supposed to work and all that. Yeah, exactly. Like we're
But
going
she's
back
not
to the
doing that
Middle
because
Ages
she's in a
as well.
political, powerful position.
It is, unfortunately, and I'm just, oh, every time I see her face I'm just like
Now, is abortion legal in your country?
I mean, for now.
But I'm
But
saying a highly Catholic country, it's not. Is it even an issue there?
it is. I mean, you have to
Hmm.
go through hoops, and you're gonna be told that you're killing your baby and all that, that they do the guilt tripping and they're gonna make it really hard for you to get it. And I don't know how long it's gonna be illegal, to be honest, especially because of what happened in the US. We can. I mean, Hungary is very good at following really bad examples for like 10 years now. Uh, we're the only country, and I'm very much disassociating from the country, as in Hungary, and the political leadership is the Russian friendly. There's open communication about, like, Ukraine is at fault for pretty much not giving up and just letting Russia take what they want and stuff like that. So yeah, I always say, people just imagine Trump leading a country without anything opposing him,
Hmm.
because the US is at least big enough that you can't buy everyone. You can't, just what they did here, that they have the media in their hands. They communicate whatever they want. The other side doesn't have a chance. So yeah, it's fun. So that's what I wanted to say, talk about, because whatever, what happened in the US is scary for us as well, because the US is, okay, maybe not the most influential country, because I don't know where China is standing. So, I'm not trying to offend anyone who's, like huge like that. But
Correct. Correct.
the US is still influential, especially with, stupid ideas, because for some reason, stupid ideas are influential these days. So, whatever happens there will have an effect on Europe, on us, everything. And even though I kind of have hope for you guys, because the US is big enough that maybe, hopefully, there's not going to be a chance for just, go back in time as much as it's happening here. But I was thinking about what to do with this situation, because I'm either extremely sad and I'm just devastated for everything that's happening in the last 2 years, pretty much, or at least this year, in Europe, in the US, everywhere, or really, really angry, but frustrated angry, because I have zero chance to do anything about it. Because yes, we had a parliamentary election here, but when all you hear in the media for 12 years now, that if the opposing side wins, they're gonna steal the country, and the newest was that if the opposition wins, then we're gonna go to war with Russia and stuff like that. So, and people believed it, because they stopped using their mind. So I don't know. So they won. or I'm just like, I want to shut down and forget about humanity and give up on everybody and just find a witch hut somewhere and and be a recluse and be just like the angry old woman in the woods who's gonna curse at children or stuff like that. And I don't want to be either of these, because none of these are helping. But I also don't want to be like, oh, everything is going to be fine because this is just a test, which I kind of feel like we're going through a change, and it's growing pains, and it sucks because we might not see the result in our lifetime, which is kind of devastating. Or like, I don't know what to do with this situation, and I don't want to be like, oh, everything is going to be fine, because we don't fucking know if everything is going to be fine.
No.
But we still have to exist as spiritual beings who care about other people, even if most of them are stupid. Like, I don't want anyone to suffer. I'm like that. So I don't know, anybody in the chat, anybody in the comments, and you guys obviously, like, I want to talk about how to deal with these issues if it's possible, even in a healthy way.
Well, I preach, one of the things is I have mixed feelings about the whole thing. One is that, so there's this amazing white woman here named Jane Elliott, and she just sticks it to other white people about their prejudices and bigotry. And I just saw a thing because people went right to her right away. And so so one of the things I think, for a Catholic country like Hungary, for abortion to be an issue, it makes sense. This is about theology and religion. Okay, so
Yeah.
I understand it. I may not agree with it, but I understand it. To me, in the United States, our religion here is the greatest story ever sold. It is not true. This is the most, no offense to people who are heathens, but this is the most heathenistic. There's no, what happened in the Supreme Court is, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. Go, what is the other thing, Gerald? Go check with a professional. Don't take my opinion.
Yeah, this is not just for no legal advice
Right.
and stuff. No,
Correct.
nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Right. So
Yeah.
this is all about white politics. You say that, of course you do. Of course I do. There's a book called The Birth Dearth. That's what Jane Elliott talked about, where the man says in the book, this is for the U.S., white folks are going to become the numerical minority. I think it's 2040. And so we got to do something about it. This is his book. So he says you can pay women to have children like they do everywhere else in the world, but unfortunately, you'll have to pay the Black and brown and Asian women as well as the white women. And we don't want to do that. Yeah, he had another idea, but also you couldn't just say for white women only. So the last idea is you make abortion illegal. Because then those white women, this is the thing. Shout out to my white sisters who are like, yes, I'm going to live my own life and I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to go to college and get 47 degrees and live my life. I'm going to own my own business. I'm going to travel the world. I'm not going to get married at 21 like all the girls in my high school and I wanted to do, get married before you were 21. No, they're going to live their lives and they're going to have kids later, or they're not going to. Well, this is just shitting on everything for entertainment purposes only. The people that own Walmart, the Koch brothers. This country is run by an oligarch like Russia.
Yeah.
And
same
so
here.
This oligarch, these 8 families, or these, less than 25 families, people, I don't know how they thought they were going to control people for so long. They had the media and stuff, but let me tell you, I feel like I'm just saying 75 things at once. I'm so grateful for the internet, because it gives some people, I did my research and you're not going to take my guns from me, right? That's what we have here. But it gives people access to information. And so when you find out, like all my life, I thought, why is it that slaves never rebelled? Why did they just do what they were told? Why didn't they say, fuck you, I'm not doing this shit, entertainment purposes only, and just killing people, right?
Yeah.
Well, they had slave rebellions every month. But that's taken out of the history, right? Because they don't want you to know.
Yeah.
So again, America is all about the story, the narrative. And so this narrative that, we're trying to save these babies. No, you ain't. We don't have universal health care. You get off 6 weeks if you're lucky. and then we're not going to help you pay for your kid after you have them. So
Yeah,
I would
that's
say
the
there
only
is
thing we do right.
hope because it's the narrative. If you look behind the narrative, you go, wait a minute, this is some bullshit. It's not what people want to do over there. And so, and I do agree with you. And Gerald, I'm going to throw it to you in a minute. I do agree with you that we are going through an enlightenment, an ascension. And so, stuff that's been hidden has to come forward. I mean, Clarence Thomas has been a U.S. Supreme Court justice for 7 million years. He hasn't said one thing in court. And now all of a sudden he got all sorts of opinions. Yes, let's roll
Yep.
back contraception and let's roll back
No.
same-sex marriage. Well, brother, let's roll back interracial marriage too. Let's talk about that. Oh no,
Yeah.
you don't want to talk about that. He named every major case but that. Someone said, let's roll back Brown versus Board of Education. I said, yeah, let's get the black people and brown people out of your schools. And then when you stop winning your championships and the NCAA
Yeah.
and the NBA is going to all these black schools and throwing all their money, they will integrate the schools. And that's what my mother told me. Her high school got integrated because the black schools kept winning all the championships.
I mean, if you look at, I mean, I watch NFL and it's just kind of funny how big of a deal is still when a people of color becomes a quarterback. And I'm like, look at the team, like 80% of them is not white. So what are we talking about?
Exactly. That's right. That's America,
and that shouldn't matter.
The narrative.
But that's what's happening here. It wasn't like that, but unfortunately, they learned from the same PR people who work for the US because it's the same. The whole bullshit that, why they pushing transphobic laws into, there's a new law that, they trans people can't use their real identity. They have to use the birth identity for their papers. They're not allowed to change their papers to who they are actually. And that's a recent one. They put it back in the official, I don't know what's the name because we don't have the same structure as you guys have, but we have a basic law, whatever. And it didn't clarify that a marriage was between a man and a woman. That only became part of it like 5 years ago. They changed it. They were like, nope, we need to specify because we don't want gay marriage to be ever legal and stuff like that. So we're kind of going back very big steps to like to the Middle Ages, and it's the same bullshit, the same story that we're just trying to protect the children from being exposed to the gay propaganda. So they banning books on anything that would have gay people. Like there was a really good children's book which was about a rainbow family because why not? And they banned the book. So I was like, but it's kind of funny because when you ban a book, it suddenly becomes really interesting,
Of course.
and
Oh,
people
yes.
will make their way to read it. So in a way, like, go ahead and burn Harry Potter as witchery and like from Satan and whatever. Kids are gonna read it because you banned it. So
you have the internet. How can you ban books? I don't even understand that.
Unfortunately, it's kind of interesting, and that's why it's maddening for me that there's that level of brainwashing here, which obviously their voters deny because we're being idiots who says that we're being brainwashed when they are not. But they only check those media and news outlets that the government says them that, hey, we're the ones telling the truth, believe us. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm only gonna check this side, and if someone else says something that goes against it, then you're a liar and you're just manipulating people and you're a liar and you're an idiot. So there is no chance for having an actual conversation here, which is the frustrating thing because you're like, there was a good example. We had a vote here locally in my town today about a bicycle route, and there was the problem with the proposed one by the city is that it goes next to a really heavy with a road with really heavy traffic, And when the bicycle road goes next to it, it's kind of dangerous for kids to be on there because there's a lot of
Indeed.
heavy, car traffic. And everyone was like, okay, we don't have to make the route go that way. We have a different one that goes in around in the neighborhood. It's more quiet, it's peaceful. We have an alternative. And then the local, whatever it's called, the guy who's in power, I forget these words because I don't talk about these issues all the time. He came out and said that if you vote no for their proposed route, then you're gonna have nothing. So he just flat out lying because there's an alternative route proposed, which would be made if people would vote for that. But nope, he came out and flat out lied, and they can do that, and they can do that on big governmental level as well. So, and sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to move because I can't handle this. But at the same time, I have a 1.5-year-old nephew. I don't want to leave. I want to have a country where he can grow up and he can be whoever he wants to be. So these, I keep going back and forth, and it's very, very hard.
It is
But
hard.
yeah, my sister showed me sorry, Gerald, the thread where it was mentioned what you said about, abortion and what they are trying to do with, um, managing population with these kind of things. And I'm like, I can easily believe that because they do similar things here. And yeah, it's not even a conspiracy theory anymore because I can believe
It,
anything.
it's not a
I
conspiracy.
Yeah. The judge's decision on schools at the time was based on how it benefited. But I mean, isn't it always kind of? And it did. They got to practice their racism. Yeah.
Well,
I
I
mean,
like
race.
this comment. Here in Memphis, my spiritual director's wife went to school here, and when they integrated the school, she had a teacher that was so upset about it that she said all the white kids on one part of the room, the black kids on one part of the room, and then she taught facing the white students.
Mm,
Like she wouldn't even acknowledge
look at
them.
them.
And then she would say, "You should have just stayed in the position. When my grandfather, whatever, had the plantation, you people were so nice." It's like, because I didn't want to get beat or shot or raped.
Yeah, killed. Thank you.
It's like, Gerald, let's hear some
Yeah.
maleness on this.
Well, I'm not going to be. Yeah, don't ask me for that because I'm not your typical male.
That's true,
Um,
but you have the divine masculine within you. I want to hear
I
that.
do, as do all of us. What is really frustrating to
Indeed.
me is this is a story that's being told, and it's it's time we change that story.
Yeah,
It's not
agree.
acceptable, and in order
No.
to change that story, more and more people are going to have to be upset. They're going to have to take action. They're going to have to go out and vote and encourage other people to vote. They're going to need to demand people be held accountable, including themselves.
I agree. Let
Um,
me interrupt you. Demand. I like that what you said because you said vote, but yeah, you got to demand. We kind of got to stop being so. I think we got to stop being so polite and be like, "Nah, this is some bullshit. We want to change right now."
Yeah.
well, and my thing is when people are talking about the election, and the first question out of my mouth is, did you vote?
Yeah.
If the answer was yes, then we can have that conversation. If it's
Exactly.
no,
Then
then
nothing
we're
to
not
talk
having
about.
that conversation because you did not do your part.
Mm-hmm.
And
You did not do your part.
yeah, and people in the US doesn't even know how. I mean, yeah, I know there was a lot of, like they cheated and, they stole the election. And I was sitting here, you guys have no idea what is it like when you know that
Mhm.
it is actually happened and you can't do anything about it. And I understand the frustration because you want your side to win, but there has to be a way to coexist with the other sides. There's just such a huge political, like, what a fuck is crack, or I don't even know,
Yeah, it's like a
distance.
schism, a chasm.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can't talk to other people if they vote for something as than you, and that's what with, just like with normal people, not with, like fanatics, because that's a whole different story. But
Correct. Whatever you're fanatical about, it's like,
yeah,
can we agree to disagree without being disagreeable? I mean, I'm disagreeing with Gerald. I take it when you vote, you are choosing to continue your occupation of our lands. Well, that may be I can understand that point, and Gerald, I'll let you speak to it, but you do have that power. And, the Native American people in Arizona flipped that state to blue, and that's how we got a hold of the Senate. So there is a fine line, and I honor you as I sit here on stolen land in Tennessee. So I get it. But remember, my brother, I was also stolen and brought here. Okay. We got to work where we are sometimes. Go, Gerald.
Oh, I appreciate that perspective. I have to consider that. It's not something that I actually thought about, and thank you. I mean, I can genuinely say I hadn't thought about that. So
And I
this
think
is
we
a
also need
perspective that I need.
some outright civil disobedience, you know?
mm,
I just think we need some outright civil disobedience. I think that's one of the things that made the difference. I honor you on your choice. Is that when the civil rights movement came, or even like here in the US when AIDS was just going ballistic and there was a group called ACT UP, they weren't going to be polite. They were going
Hmm.
to go in the middle of a meeting with their whistles and those horns, what are those bullhorns? And I think that for us, Orsi, do we need to send you light? Are you stepping into the darkness? No.
I mean, the sun is leaving me, so I'm like,
But I think
you
that
guys are watching the sunset. I'm just saying.
okay. I think that really, and Gerald, I think as two Americans, we can really think about this because for gay rights, I mean, I'm married today
Yeah, which is so
because
cool.
that group ACT UP was like, oh hell no, but I'm married today too because in my mind, Harvey White was sacrificed. He was murdered by this again a white man who was I'm deranged. They ain't got no mental illness. If you can get a gun, go to the place, go through, there's a lot of linear, but his sacrifice bought to, I also think about George Floyd. Yes, the man was murdered and executed publicly, but his sacrifice, and I hate to say it, but that even those young kids in Uvalde, I cannot,
Oh,
without
yeah, I heard
tears,
that.
their sacrifice finally got people to say, what in the heck? And
That's something I will never understand.
I said in my,
Hmm.
Like
and I do in my
the amount of
message,
gun the U.S. has
because
and
you know
claims
why?
that that's a good
Because
thing.
white men are afraid. They knew that if we had to have a square fight with all the other races,
Yep.
they're used to power over. They don't know
Yeah.
how to share power. They don't know how to share power.
Yeah,
They
and
really
they
do
have to.
not.
I
Then
mean,
living
I
here in the
hope they
South,
will have to learn.
I have to tell you, it's like stepping back in time.
Yeah, same.
In my hospital, every position of power is held by a white man. And if there's
Hmm.
a subset, it's a white woman. I had a lady talk to me at work. I had to tell my wife, I had to really think about, did I want to make my car payment? I have money to buy clothes? Because I was ready to say, look here, bitch, I'm not from here. I'm not afraid of you. But I thought,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not trying to go to jail either. But at the same time, why should I even have to feel that way?
Yeah.
I'm not your child. So I had to make the choice. I just do not interact with her because I'm telling you, I'm not sure what's going to come out of my mouth. Or I am sure, and I don't want that to come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
is. So
not.
where do you live, Gerald? You're in Ohio, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what is it like that? That's like in the middle, right? What is it like there,
Well,
racial
I
I have no idea
wise?
where Ohio is.
it is in like many places. It has its issues with, in particular, with stuff with voting.
Yes, you're
Um,
right.
uh, and I live in I specifically purchased a house in a diverse neighborhood because this is what I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to see. And I have worked in places that serve a diverse community, which I like, because there's an opportunity there.
Mm.
And it's Ohio is oftentimes in politics, considered a linchpin. It's the one where,
Mm, mm.
the way Ohio goes, a lot of other places go. So
Oh,
a lot of challenges happen. And in the last couple of years, it has been very, very disheartening because there's violence where there shouldn't be violence. It's
yeah.
called a peaceful protest. It's called the right to
Just
assembly,
protesting. Yeah.
and nobody's listening. And it's the story that's being told. It's the story, and it's scary. It's very scary.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
Are you and Jeffrey going to get married next week so you can make sure you don't lose that? A part of me is laughing, but a part of me is not. It's
it's
like,
not.
damn.
Yeah.
Let me
yeah,
tell you right now. I'll say this on YouTube. I will do you and Gerald's wedding whether it's legal or not. I'm an ordained minister. I will do
well,
your
Yeah.
thank
wedding,
you.
legal or illegal. Not that you need me
Yeah.
to do if it's legally, but I'm saying if it's illegal, I will do it.
Well, and here, I mean, the struggle that I have is a lot of times, um, like the overturning of Roe versus Wade and other things. It is about choice. You can choose what you want to do to your body. Great. That doesn't mean that I have to choose to do what your choice. If my religious background is such that I am not going to act in a particular way, then you don't act in a particular way. And we've seen. I'm thrilled to see a lot of people in my. Yes, it is a catch-22. Um, and
Yeah.
I'm like
yeah,
an Auntie K's. Hit me up on YouTube. We can start some trouble. We can start some
Oh,
trouble.
but I
yeah,
think I mean, that's the only thing that I could have think about. Like, what can we do is actually try to talk to each other because, I'm not from the US, and yes, I'm white, obviously. So I'm privileged in my country because we have, and I know that it's not politically correct to call gypsies right now in English, language, but that's the word that my friends, and, I asked her if she has and she doesn't like the word, and she was like, no, that's how we call ourselves here. I was like, yeah, I was
Okay.
thinking the
Well, then
same.
that's how
So
they identify themselves, and it's the right word.
yeah, I mean, I went to the
yes,
source for information, and I'm not saying that it's going to be true for everybody, but I'm just saying that I'm using the word because that's okay here.
yeah,
And it's kind of funny in a not laughing way that if you look at the numbers, the population, the white Hungarians, because I like, we're all Hungarians, so what the f we're talking about? Everybody's Hungarian who was born in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're all Hungarians, but the white ones are becoming less and less because there are studies that the more educated you are, less children you will have because you will actually know how much it costs, and you're gonna be
mm,
worried about them and not have as many children. So
Right. That's what's
it's
happening
the
in the
same.
U.S.
Yeah, and it's the same. They're gonna pull some religious shit about we're protecting babies not being born or whatever, the usual stuff for that. And yeah, I try to respect religion, but when I know that it's not coming from an actual honest place of I believe that I'm protecting an unborn soul, when I know it's just about trying to play with the numbers and get back the white population to a higher number again, because the other side of the country is getting more because they are not as educated, they don't use contraception, because that's always a funny thing for me that uh, you're not supposed to have an abortion, but we're not going to talk about sex, so you won't know what can get you pregnant because that goes against everything again. So yeah, these are just fuckery. I don't know where I wanted to go with that, but
well, I think it does go back to the people, the great leaders who have helped change things. We need our own great leaders now. to help make things different. People to stand up and to lead, and to be
Ooh.
willing to and be willing to be bold, be courageous, and part of that goes back to the idea that you had, Minnassa, the story. You have to be able to adjust the way you're presenting information so that people in charge can hear it, and that's
Oh, yeah.
challenging. And so um, I I've been thinking about this, and um, I think I, I okay, I'll be really honest here. I have been wanting to contact every woman I know and apologize.
But it's not you.
But it's not me, and it's not
It's not
just
you.
the males. There are other
No,
people who have
no.
made this decision. But this is you know, if we're talking about from a spiritual being, this is my initial reaction, and um, I um, I can put my concern into action
Mm.
and make calls, go out and vote, you know, walk in the streets, hold hands with people who have similar ideas, listen, find out information that is different than my own, and to find out what's going on. But it's, you know, don't come for me for entertainment purposes only. I'm dealing with this, but you know, and it's yeah, I am fortunate that, you know, I've been seeing on some of my streams a lot of people are struggling with this as well, and they're doing things, which tells me I am surrounding myself with a good variety of people who have differing views, because that's how we all get, that's how we
That's how we
grow,
learn. Yeah.
that's how we
Very
learn.
true. Very true.
um so I mean, it's just like um and I think it's this idea of okay, I think what's happening, yes,
Yeah,
finding
oh, I'm gonna.
ideas and being accessible.
That's true. And I think that's what Gerald. I hear you saying, Gerald. Like you get it. You know, I was one time Richie, Robin, and Ben were on a show together, and Ben and Robin said, "I don't care whether card decks are diverse or not, because the diversity comes in the design." He went through this whole thing, and then at the end, he said, "But I may be speaking from a place of privilege." And I said, "That's the difference." He was able to
Yes,
recognize that, and so I think Gerald, you see that in a way as a man, but you gotta want to do something. And that's what
yes,
you I feel you're demonstrating. You want to do something. And so let people bring you the ideas, connect with your divine guides and the people that you work with, and they will guide you on that. But you gotta your heart has to be in the right place. Too many people's hearts aren't in the right place. It's
Yeah.
in
hmm,
fear. It's in I'm gonna keep what's mine and I'm gonna believe, like I said, the narrative, there's only so much. No, there's enough. So Gerald, I
there's
think you're
enough.
in the right place.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's, to be honest with you, it's really scary saying that, because of it's just it's so there's so much struggle, and I get very frustrated because instead of um, uh, taking the time to understand and to listen, people aren't doing that. The news is not allowing that to
Oh,
happen. Yes, we have the internet. Go find reliable resources. Don't
That's true.
just,
That's
you
true.
know,
it's
And then
very,
look up
very
the
hard.
story, look up the history. I mean,
yes,
part of the things is when I was in seminary, this whole thing about, you know, it's almost a moot point when people in Hungary or people in the United States try to say, oh, the white population, okay, y'all ain't the majority anywhere, really. If we put the whole world together, and when I say
yes,
people of color, I'm including Jews too, because, look, let's bring them all in. You're already the numerical minority, but
I
you
mean,
hmm,
I'm
convinced us.
2.4% Jewish, so
Then you bring you in, girl. I'm just
you know,
saying. But
we're all
again,
mixes.
the narrative has already convinced us that we're the minority, and that's not true anywhere.
Yeah.
yes,
But again, you got to flip the switch. We got to tell the story. We're still struggling with, Can I wear my hair to work naturally? Again, 80%,
Yeah.
can I wear my hair to work naturally? Well, when you go to with your hair or your beautiful hair, no one's saying, well, you can't wear your hair naturally. You need
Yeah.
to blow dry it and really straighten it. So you're talking about the hungry going back. The U.S. is right. They're not going back. They're right there with them.
Yeah.
There's still that struggling. So we got to tell the truth.
I
So
understand.
we got to get it, see what beauty is. We've got to, I was talking with Gerald, and I was talking with a friend of mine. I won't give her name. And she was like, I watched Gerald and Richie and Ben. And first time I saw them, I said, all of them are witches. And she said, I love them all. I said, I love them all too. I said, still a little part of me sometimes get nervous about it. But I said, you know what? They have been kinder to me than some folks that sit in the church and call themselves a Christian. So yeah, if I'm gonna get in a line to get in a fight with some folks, I'm gonna be there with Richie and Ben and Gerald and be like, if y'all got some spells, bring them out first, because all I got is these fists. So and cussing.
And I would be happy to be there with you, Minnassa, because we fear that what we don't understand.
Indeed. Like my daughter, hopefully she don't put in the notes, as you were talking about. Just you see, I got a lot of emotion going on here. That
Same. I'm trying not to cry.
Yes, I wouldn't let her read Harry Potter because it's full of witches and warlocks. And then I read it. I'm like, oh my God, these are the best books ever.
Exactly.
You know why? Because that's not what the book is about. But even
no, it's about love.
This is about people. Yeah, love. And oh my God, I love Ron's family. And even like for a minute, poor Lord Voldemort, that he who shall not be named. It's like he had a fucked up childhood. Look how he turned out, right? I mean, that's a book on psychology. Love your kids.
Yes, exactly.
Don't
I
be
mean,
putting
if you
spells
look
on
at
people
Marvel,
to try to make them love you, because then they don't like that and they get mad.
I mean, look at Draco. He had no choice but to
his
hate.
Parents were just
He was raised to hate,
Well,
and that's what's happening to a lot of children still.
And that idea of you cannot say his name. Yes, Candy. That let's not speak his name. Whatever. I've read the books. I don't remember. But
you don't know.
Okay. My point is
when
we don't speak the truth and we don't speak about things, that goes into the family. Secrets are not good.
Oh my God, my family loves secrets.
Same.
Except of course they're not good with secrets. So my mom would be like, oh my God, your Aunt Patty told me this. Now don't tell anyone. So what do? I go to my sister and say, oh my God, Mom told me this. Now Aunt Patty told me. So yeah, my family has secrets, but some of them they're not a secret. Like my cousin, everyone knew she was adopted but her.
Oh,
yeah, it was like the secret you'd get in trouble with. And then when finally someone told her and she was like, yeah, I already figured it out. It's like, we've been keeping this dumb secret for no reason. But yeah, secret. And again, they who should not be named. That gives fear and power to somebody who's having us really just needed some therapy and a couple hugs.
And
or to be sat on the naughty step and to be told you need to sit down and have a timeout.
That's true. We're gonna slap the taste out of your mouth as you were talking.
I mean, he should have spent the summer with the Weasleys.
Oh yes.
That would have changed, because he would have seen the family and loving each other. And what I wanted to say is, just before I forget, that when the second time Voldemort is coming back, he's not doing openly. He's doing it in the sneaky way from behind behind the scenes. And that's the more powerful, more scary thing. And that's what's happening,
And you get people so caught up in it. Who's that horrible lady, Mrs. Umbridge or whatever?
So
caught up in it. The lie.
And she believed that she was representing the correct, the right side, the righteous side. And, you're reading the book and you're like, you're a horrible person.
Somebody who I saw somebody I think it was on Instagram, and I'll be honest with you, I have had to be very careful with how much social media I can take.
Same here.
Because here's my thing about it. I will look at social media, I will listen, I will read until I start getting bitter about it. When
Yeah.
I am bitter, that turns into something else.
Mhm.
When I have information and I'm angry, I believe there's such a thing called righteous anger.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
And if that, so long as it's not poisoned by that bitterness. So, um, yeah, and so, yeah.
Mm.
And I think it's so very important to
Mhm.
talk to the children, talk to people around what's going on, and to find out what they understand and to how they're feeling. Because if a father says to a daughter, "I'm scared, I'm worried," that speaks volumes to that family. If a child, if a son, you know, hears from his mother that he's scared, it makes it okay for the children to be scared.
Yeah.
Because how do we figure out how to interact as adults? We watch it by the adults that are around us. And
Sure.
I'm saying the adults that are around us because unfortunately some people do not have parents that are engaged, but they have really wonderful role models
Yeah.
and
Teachers
really wonderful people, teachers,
can be very
you know,
important.
yes, yes, teachers, other adults, people who actually listen to what is being said, and that's, you know, that's where important change needs to happen. Because somebody actually said, pay attention to how the men in your life are responding to this. Yeah, definitely pay attention.
And yeah, and, we just I kind of, that's why it's disheartening, because we as humans, and I'm gonna include us all, because even though we live in different continents, we're all humans, for God's sake. And I'm still waiting for the aliens to finally make again grand entrance, so we can be like, finally, oh, we're a human race, we need to stick together.
Yes, like
But
it does in all those alien movies, right? We
yes,
all hate each
that's
other.
why I'm
And then when the
waiting
aliens
for,
come, we're
like,
like, oh,
yes.
fuck them. Let's all fight them. Yeah.
Exactly. And I completely forgot what I wanted to say.
Sorry.
No, it was me, going to the
We're saying we're
alien.
all humans and you're waiting for the aliens to come so that we can all
Yeah,
bond together
yeah,
and
and
realize we're
and
all a human family.
and I don't know why we can't just look at. I mean, that's okay. This is not something. This is different. What I meant to say, I will remember. But when the first lockdown happened, when COVID actually hit back in 2 years ago, where we are now with the timeline,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really liked that 1 month, because in most of the places everyone was more considerate to other people.
Mhm.
They were checking on neighbors, how they were doing, helping with groceries and stuff like that. And for a wonderful 1 month, which some astrologer says that that was when Aquarius was in somewhere, and that was the future that we can actually have. And then it
Okay.
went back to the old ways, and I was like, I want that kind of humanity, when people were more open to conversations and understanding each other. And I kind of feel like we took 10 steps backwards. Oh, and what I wanted to say was that I kind of felt like we were starting to approach masculinity and what it is mean to be a man in a more healthy way.
Hmm.
Finally, we started to work on a man can have emotions. Surprise, they are human beings as well. I know, shocker. But now it feels like we're going back to, nope, this is your role. Stand in your line, because if you step out of your line, the world is going to end. That's pretty much the message. And unfortunately, fear is such a powerful thing that, I try not to think about it, but this was the exact same position before the Second World War. It was,
Mhm.
economical fear, and the ideology and everything like that was quite similar. So we didn't learn anything from history.
Manasa, I have a question to ask you. All right, you say minister, pastor, how do you refer to yourself
How?
in the religious context?
Well, now I'm like a new thought minister. I'm just a very spiritual person, but I'm not a traditional religionist. Even though, yeah, I'll see about that. That even if you look at the Bible through a metaphysical way, it's like, oh, shit's all right there. It's just hidden.
I'm good with
Mhm.
that. And the reason I asked is because I want to, that's something that I try to do. I want to know, who are you? How do you want me to understand you? Because therein lies your power. Because
Correct,
I want
correct.
to, I'm more about sorry, my ear thing is going a little weird. So if you see me doing this, I'm not
It's
speaking to somebody.
yeah.
It's not like, it's not
They
like,
Hurry,
it's
they're
not
right here.
coming.
I got them at their house. Hurry, get
it's
them.
not like, I'm doing that. But how is it that when, I guess my question, and you feel free to ignore this or to spin it your own way, Minnassa, respectfully submitted. How do you help people who are struggling with this, with what's going on in the world? And then how do you honor yourself as you struggle with it while you're helping everyone else struggle? I know, big question.
It
That's what
is.
I
So for the
was trying
next
to
two
ask.
hours, no. So one of the things is,
I would be
I mean,
totally willing to listen.
I
exactly.
would I would say so. One of the things, it's very funny that you would ask that, because today was my day to deliver the message at my spiritual center. And what I did was I went back to some Old Testament scriptures that talk about loving justice, serving the oppressed, honoring people who don't have what you have. And I think for me, that was the line. If you want to be, just like if I were to say to you, oh my God, I'm a witch, Gerald, you'd be like, oh, really? Well, what do you think about the year of the wheel? I'm like, huh? Let's say, do you celebrate, Samhain? I go, is that the Samhain thing? Well,
Hmm.
yeah. You'd be like, do you, know, right? So when people tell me that they're spiritual, and I see them acting, which was as a good American, gimme, 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 and I'm sorry something bad happened to you, but I'm gonna stay over here, right? So my whole thing is we've got to do something different. The same is not working, and we've got to get back to the basics. I think some of those messages from the first text in the Bible is treat other people with kindness. And yes, I know people using the Bible for all sorts of mess, but I'm saying love justice, help the oppressed. I think part of the thing is we've got to look outside of ourselves. And then
Hmm.
when we bring our energy to outside, that it's reciprocal. You, Gerald and Orshi are me. So when I send love to you, when I say Gerald, what's going on? I'm there to help you. Orshi, I'm here to help you. I've really completed a circle, and there becomes a healing. And then the three of us become that essence. And so that really where I'm at is we've got to stop having a fucking pity party. Yes, they took the right to
Yes.
abortions away. Okay. People been having abortion since day 17 or whatever the word. I'm sure they didn't have it on the first day. That there are people who know how to make honey child, I'll go on down to Louisiana and find me someone to make me an abortion brew if I need it, okay? Or go to Hoodoo. There are people who know how to do that. I don't, thank God for Planned Parenthood in LA. Everything is fucking free. Okay, but before Planned Parenthood, people were having abortions in a safe way, right? Women had our ways to take care of that. Now, of course, you try to do it yourself, right? So we've got to reach out. Gerald, it's what you're saying. I got to step out of my comfort zone. Okay, you and I have this in common. We want the world to be better in this way. How can we do that together? Because when I
Yeah.
work with you, then I see, oh, I thought we had just these three things. But when I talk with you, because now you're my comrade in arms, right? We actually have 70 things. So the thing that I thought was different isn't. And I think the way that I'm taking care of it myself is just I'm working on it. I am working
Mm.
on. Part of me is like, or something with you is like, you know what? I told my wife, let's get your passport up to date and let's move to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, the reason I said that is I need to be somewhere I can have good health insurance. But I have friends that my daughter's going to South Africa to teach for the Peace
Yeah.
Corps. I don't think she's coming back to the U.S. I think
Mm.
she's had it with this country. There's a whole expat group, Black expatriates, who are like, I got the fuck out of there. I go to this country. Go to your, yes. That traditional,
Amen.
believe me,
Yes. Yes.
lady didn't want to have a baby, they had a way to take care of that. Or you need healing a different way. But
Or you need all three of those because and
exactly,
and
exactly.
I want to something that you said, Manasa, and I think it's really important is I I want to see, and I've been trying to do this. I'm not really good at it, but I want to see how the three of us here are similar.
Okay.
What is our shared experiences rather than how are we different?
I was
Okay.
thinking
Because,
about this that ever since I was like, Mina says, what should we talk about? And I was like, I don't want to talk about our differences because that's obvious. Like if you look at us, just look at us, there are differences. But I want to talk about, we're spiritual, we're in the gay side of things. So that's already something. Even though I none of our experiences are the same. We went through hardship. We live in fucked up countries, and I'm already at the four things, and we're trying to
mhm.
do something for other people. We can find common
and
ground.
and I have to say, okay, we're being honest here, right? I mean, because
Yes,
this is that safe
trying to be.
zone.
Indeed.
Each of you have said something that has made me uncomfortable,
Hmm.
and I want to say thank you
Hmm.
because I am trying to right now. I can only control me right
Hmm.
now because I can control me in a way that helps other people. Did you just
I just
what were
said
you?
that I can't really control sometimes myself, so I'm like, I'm
Well,
not.
no,
That's the
but
Aquarius talking.
yeah.
Yeah,
But my point is I can take that energy and that because that's the learning edge. When we're uncomfortable, that's when we learn and that's when we grow.
I really hate that feeling though.
I hate it too, but I love
It's
it
necessary. I know it's
Correct.
at the
Correct.
necessary.
other
Correct.
side of it because I'm pretty sure Manasa and I, we were having a cup of coffee or something, and we were
Yes,
having a
or
meal
something.
or something, and we would probably end up arguing a lot about different things, and we would be all good. So,
Indeed. You know what? Let me tell you, Lily's godfather and I, probably because we're older, but Michael and I used to have fights all the time. But let me tell you, this is before I was connected with my own LGBTQ-ness. And somebody say, yeah, Michael's an asshole. He is the asshole number one. But if someone said, I'm gonna hurt him because he's gay, then I'm like, nah, you coming through me. You
Yeah.
gonna come through me. I will kick his ass myself, but you're not gonna hurt him for that reason. Now,
Yeah, that's
well,
and
not a
him and I
reason.
used to
Yeah.
fight all the time. But I
but
love
but
35 years. The man's been my friend.
and the key is when we stay and we argue. I'm trying to figure out a different word other than argue, but I'm just going to use it. When
Yeah,
we argue as equals, you say something, you say something, I try to understand it. It's that idea: first seek to understand, then be understood.
exact.
Because you
Speak the
may be
code, baby.
actually, yeah, yes, you may be actually saying the same thing that I am, Manasa,
You're on
but you're
100%.
saying it in the way that makes sense to you.
Correct.
I'm saying it in the way that it makes sense to me. And they're in whole, and it's probably you'd see it in a movie or in a comedy or something like that, where we're having an argument with somebody else, and suddenly we say something, and we both look at each other and we go, okay, yep, we're on the same side. We got
Exactly.
this. We got
Exactly.
this. We got
Exactly.
this. I just
Exactly.
got tingles, and I think that's in. So I think we need heroes to stand up. We need sheroes. We need whomever to step up and to
Huh,
be willing
Shiro.
to be
Never heard that.
bold, and that we have to get people's attention, and we have to keep people's attention
Yeah.
because I don't know about you all, but when my mother was not happy, you know that
Mm-hmm.
saying, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody
Nobody's
happy.
happy.
Well, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I think a lot of people are not happy right now. And when you've got one person unhappy, that's one thing. When you got a couple of million not happy,
That's true.
hold on, kids. Make sure you are on the
Indeed.
side and you're supporting, because, and not just supporting in action, but thought, word, deed, money. Step up.
Indeed. Yes, I
Mm.
think, I really would say, and this is my own opinion, it has nothing to do with Orsi, it has nothing to do with Gerald, but as for finish, I think it's time in this country we need to act up. I'm saying we need to shut down government buildings. We need to shut down the streets where people can't drive and just be like, no, we're going to change things right now. I mean, like, think about it. Some things are antiquated. Like, when this country started, it was a wonderful idea to have 9 people who would like look over cases and make sure that they're okay. But I think right now, as big as this country is, the West Coast could have a Supreme Court, and then some, it's 9 people figuring out all this legal stuff. That's
Or
stupid.
just change the members more often, because I think the problem is
Correct.
that they die off.
Yes, they live so long.
And
Yes.
I know Ruth Bader
someone said it
Ginsburg.
somewhere that
Ruth
there
Bader
should be.
Ginsburg, I know she tried to. Thank you for trying to live so long.
Yeah, so I think
I
I've
know. Then
seen
Clarence
it with
Thomas is like, dude.
yeah, someone said that there should be an age limit for certain
Yeah.
positions, and I'm like,
There
Yes.
are
yeah.
everywhere else. There is everywhere else.
Oh, not here.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
And
You
Minnassa,
can be in power after year. We don't have a limit
You
on that
don't. Well, I'm
either.
saying,
No,
like most jobs, you have to retire at a certain age here in
nope.
the U.S.
It's like
Yeah.
if our PM wants to be a PM forever, he can be.
Well, the same way
oh,
here.
geez.
The
Okay,
Senate.
so
Bullshit.
yeah, so back when I was a little gay and I was just coming out of the closet, and
I was like, you're a little gay. How do you be
I know we made him
not
a
a
little
lot of
kid.
gay, but just a little gay? But I'm like, okay.
when I was young, gay, and just coming out. A friend of mine who was older explained to me the importance of ACT UP. And Minnassa, you talked about ACT UP.
All right, I hear you.
They went and they shut things down, and there was an as he said, an unwritten understanding that ACT UP would go in and create this issue, and then the Human Rights Campaign would come in and work with it within the structure to be able to make change happen.
You got to hit
Now,
it from both sides.
you got to, and so it's.
I tell you, Auntie K is just, checking. I like it when someone checks you on something. Like, this is what you think is. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was trying to hold on, but she did some shit that wasn't good for indigenous. Like,
follow her on
thanks for checking me
Instagram.
on that.
Like,
Thank you for
follow her on
So
Instagram
what is
if you want
it?
to.
What is it? Auntie K's? I'm gonna do it right now.
Look her up on Instagram. I follow her, so you should be able to find her easy.
I don't know.
So-
I'm a boomer. Sometimes
Unfortunately,
it's hard to find stuff on Instagram.
I'm on an iPad, so I
Might need
suck
Lily.
at linking.
Yeah, but one of the I think want to say that also that Gerald talked about is that yes, I think there are areas where we may have. I don't think we have fundamental disagreements. That we have, I would say, artistic or presentation disagreements. But in the end, my daughter came to me and was like, "He's good." So see, people that I trust, and even Cheyenne, right? So if I see your heart, I don't care if you want to cast spells or do whatever. I know that in the end, if someone's talking some mess about Minnassa, that you're gonna be like, you better hold up, and you better put those words back in your mouth, or step away. Don't talk about her around me, right? And that's
Yes.
all I need,
Yes.
right? So,
And
she thinks she's this, and it's like, you know what? She does think that, but step back, right? You don't even, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Have my back.
Yes. Well, and yes, I do have your back because you have mine.
Auntie K's Tarot.
You should be able to find her on Instagram.
But I think,
or I
Minnassa,
can send her page. Sorry, later.
I think she's like, Auntie K, is this you? Auntie K's Tarot on Instagram. Let me know.
Okay.
I think the other thing is Minnassa, I think if the fact that I am a witch was scary to you, we can still have a conversation about that, because
That's
what
true.
it means to me is different than what it means to you, because
Exactly.
I'm not going to do anything I'm the only thing that I can change and the only thing I can do magic on really is myself.
True, true. And same with me, my little crystal magic and tarot magic.
So, and
Yeah,
it is Auntie K's
Is
oh,
it? Okay.
tarot.
look.
Thank you, Auntie K.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry for, not being able to link things, but
Yeah, don't
like
worry about it.
I'm on an iPad, so I'm like
Yeah, see,
technically
I'm like you.
challenged right now.
Yeah, I had to do it on my iPad too because of the thunderstorms we're having.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
this is the best camera I have, but I wasn't thinking about, sunset and stuff like that. So sorry about and I was stressed reorganizing today. So I completely reorganized my room because, when there's outside things that I have zero control over, I just start, messing with my room because,
Inside.
oh, we have Beth here. Hi, Beth.
Hi, Beth.
And I think what's important for me and what I sometimes get frustrated is that people don't allow you to ask stupid questions because I don't know about a lot of what you guys, for example, went through in your life because I grew up and I was born in such a different place, but there are people who are like, okay, stupid white girl, let her ask the stupid questions, about people of color because I don't have those experiences. I don't have
Correct.
friends around that I can just look at. And if asking questions is not okay, how do we have a conversation?
That's a problem.
And
If you
that's
can't ask a question, yeah, yeah.
and
I remember.
I try to be mindful. I try to be respectful. Obviously, my intentions are always good, but I'm gonna ask stupid questions. I'm gonna ask questions that might sound hurtful because I just don't know it yet.
And you know what?
That's
And
the
I
only
think
thing that
it.
I can do is try to understand, try to
And
know
or she,
more.
the fact that you know that you may be asking questions that can come across not in the best way. If when you say that, you empower. It's like you saying that to me and Minnassa empowers the opportunity that we have to build a rapport and a relationship because you are saying, I may say this the wrong way. It also gives me the ability to be aware you don't know what you're saying might be offensive, and I have an opportunity to enlighten you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please, always. And this is an open invitation. I might not react, well, because who likes to be called out being, something bad, like obviously your ego is going to be hurt, but I will deal with that and, I will learn and I might disagree that, because we're humans and I might disagree with someone else's opinion on certain topics, but it doesn't mean that we can't be respectful to each other and we can't try to find a way to coexist with our differences because that's not supposed to be the thing that we're doing as humans.
It's it's very true. And sometimes you don't know till you know, like, right? There are no you burn less from the stupid questions, or sometimes you just don't know. Like if you've ever been around kids, like if they fall down or something, sometimes the best thing to do instead of going is to just
Yeah, I
keep
mean,
going because
we're
then
practicing
they
the
didn't
not
know
freak out.
and they just get up. So I had this shirt years ago that had all the countries flags,
Ooh.
and so my daughter's reading it now. She's a little girl, so I'm not really paying attention because she's just saying stuff. And she comes to the country Niger, Niger, but that's not what she said.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why are you saying that? Right? She did, right? Right?
Yeah, she was
Yes.
just reading.
Correct. So
Yeah.
sometimes your ignorance or just not knowing. Like my answer says, once you know better, do better. But you got to know better.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I love it. I used to work in a library, and it was always said, don't make fun of the way somebody pronounce if they mispronounce a word, it's because they learned it by reading it.
Correct. Correct.
Oh, that's so true. I mean, that's why in Hungary, and that's my favorite example, Hermione is Hermione, because that's how it's written. And, the language, our language is, what you see is what you get. So everybody in Hungary, all the kids are calling it Hermione because that's how we read it.
And they missed
We read
okay.
the books before the
Yeah.
movies. So, and just like Voldemort, it's with a T. because we were like, no one was fancy and be like, oh, it's a French word. No, we was like Voldemort. That's how it's written. So
Oh my
things
God, it
like
must have
that.
been awful to learn English because English words can have 7 letters in them and you only say 3 of the letters.
Oh, that's, I mean, for me, that's the annoying thing about French, like Bordeaux. That's my favorite example for the color, like Bordeaux, and you have like 4 letters in French, and there's one for in Hungarian. I'm like, see,
Okay.
we're not wasting space, we're not
Yes,
wasting
indeed,
letters.
indeed, indeed.
I want to draw attention to something
Oh yeah,
Auntie K's Tarot Insight said. We also need to not be afraid to
need to
unlearn.
unlearn.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
And we also have to be willing to give ourselves
Yes,
time
especially.
and permission to unlearn.
Very true. Very
Because if
true.
I mean, and I actually, a friend of mine um, is transitioning, and I'm just like going, I'm looking at her and I'm going, I may mispronounce your name and I apologize. Give me time. Um, but no, and I also gave her permission. You have my permission to slap me upside the head if I do it too many times, because I want you to know. I mean, it's important. Let's call things what they are. Let's call people
Yeah.
who they are. And it's like what you're saying, Minnassa. We need to see these things with eyes that are open. We need to be
Mhm.
willing to see what's going on, this story that's being told.
Yeah.
Very true, very true.
And
Very
that's the
true.
So,
sentence that, what Micah said is that I don't love reading out loud, but if I feel like I need to on video, like from a guidebook, I do anyway. Because the information is usually more important than my uncomfortableness. And that's the word I'm
Indeed,
saying.
yeah.
indeed. And I was George, you were talking about the thought just flew through my mind, but about unlearning. Oh, and that when you tell someone something that's true that they didn't know and they had to unlearn, they might be mad about it. So here's an example. I don't even know how my daughter and I were having this conversation. I was talking about George Washington's wooden teeth. Now, in school, I learned that George Washington had wooden teeth. His teeth were made out of wood. That's how the dentures were made in those days. And we know British people have horrible teeth because they eat tea. They drink tea and eat chocolate all day, right? Richie and Ben, right? So they have horrible teeth, right? Okay, I get it. Well, one day my daughter and I are having this conversation. She says, no, he didn't have wooden teeth. He had teeth that were made from his slaves' teeth. They just, and I go, what? So I was so mad in many ways. One, why did you tell me that lie my whole
Yeah.
life? Why did you even talk about it? If you didn't want that issue to come out, why did you even say something about his teeth in history? Or why was that information that I
Yes.
needed, right? I was mad. I was mad for like a month. I'd be like,
Hmm.
George Washington's teeth. Why he pulling his slaves' teeth? Now, like
Yeah.
I was
I mean,
just
I understand.
unlearning the lie and then mad about it. So yes, that unlearning process can really put you in a place. So be willing to view and tell somebody the truth. Know that their reaction initially might be to just wig out. But if I'll speak for myself, I needed time. And then I'm like, let me go to Google. Did George Washington's teeth have wooden teeth? Like, no, he had the teeth of his slaves. That's what all the slave owners did. I was like, shit. I know what it's like to have your teeth pulled under anesthetic. What did it feel like to have your teeth pulled with
I don't want to
nothing?
think.
How it
Yeah.
hurt the
No.
next day
Yeah.
like hell.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
hot. But
Yeah.
okay, I did unlearn, but it was hard. Even something as
Yeah.
simple as that. About Thomas Jefferson, and first they made it seem like, him and Sally Hemings. They're like, no, the bitch was 14. And she was locked in a room behind his room. It's not,
Oh, fuck.
Thomas Jefferson. I don't know if you know Orsi Thomas Jefferson,
Yeah, I mean,
president
we
here.
know a few
Okay,
of
yeah.
those presidents. We learned
And then he had a whole
basic.
family with his slave. And they tried to
Yeah,
make
I
it
mean,
seem
it's
like first it was all
what we
lovey
learned was a
dovey.
romanticized version as
Correct.
well.
They tried to romanticize it.
Yeah,
It's like,
that he
no.
was just so nice and they lived happily ever after and bullshit
Correct.
like that.
Correct.
Which,
So
It's
then
the
you,
story.
now
It's
I
the
grow up
it,
and
story.
I think
it's the
about it,
that's the
it's
thing. Well,
bullshit.
that's why Hollywood is so successful. And that's why Hollywood, it's the narrative.
I mean, do you want to
Hmm.
know who founded Hollywood?
Who did?
Hungarians.
All right.
Like, do you like? And I just want to say that I want to learn
It's
Spanish,
phonetic.
and I was just looking at Spanish decks for 2 days because I was trying to find a mass market because I can't buy indie. It's too expensive. I was trying to find a deck that, the titles are in Spanish because I was like, if I have a book or a deck in Spanish, I might be able to, make myself excited to learn.
I have a
So,
Spanish English deck.
which
And
one?
it's English on
Hmm.
the top and it's Spanish on the bottom.
There
It's
was
just,
one that Fournier, or how do you say that, says, but I
yeah,
don't really like the
I have
artwork,
it.
so I'm like, I'm
Oh,
picky.
yeah, I have a strange one that I got from Spain that's all in Spanish. It is like the strangest deck. I love it, but I was
I
like,
think that's the one that I was
yeah,
looking
it is
at.
like
It's
weird. I
on
was
the
like, what
top
is
with,
this all about?
yeah. So
Hmm.
I love it.
just stepping outside of the seriousness, if anybody can, suggest Spanish decks to me, and I would like to learn Spanish that's being spoken in Spain, because I don't
Right,
know how
Castilian.
Yes.
different the
Castilian.
grammar and stuff like that with
Indeed.
Mexico and stuff like that. So
Indeed.
What was
And
it?
because I
Sue,
think the sexiest language is Spanish.
indeed. I got about 10 more minutes and I gotta
Oh, okay,
go.
okay, okay, cool, cool. Okay, yes.
Yeah, with an open heart. Open heart. Yeah, just,
Yeah.
Okay, so just flashing comments. So yeah, I mean, this is a topic that we can, have 24 hours conversation
you
on,
have to
and
invite us back.
you're invited all the freaking time if you want to. We can do this at,
Right.
when
Unlearning,
Gerald is
owning the
not
truth.
busy.
Yes, when Gerald, yes.
You can have the conversation without me.
Oh, I don't
No,
want to.
the more the better, I think.
Well, and I think that the important thing, and I want to say this, thank you both for making this an okay place to have a safe place to have an uncomfortable conversation. And I think because that's what's important. I think
Yeah.
we can be different and we can be alike and we can learn and we can disagree and we can make change a reality and support
Mm.
those who are trying to do that. So
Very true.
I mean,
Very true.
I'm okay. So
Yeah.
essentially,
No.
I'm being appreciative of the two of you and people in chat for being respectful and enlightening and offering, differing opinions in a way that I was able to hear. So thank you.
And
And honestly,
congratulations to
thank you
you to
guys
being
for,
able to hear it because
yeah.
that's your choice to
It
be able to
is.
hear it. And so kudos to you. This is turning
Thank
into
you.
like a love fest.
I mean,
We need to just be able to hug. Like, I just want to hug you too right now.
exactly. We're like, sometimes I think about that. Can we divide up the world and, have the one kind of people here and the other shitty people there, and they can deal with that. They can live happily ever after with their,
Well,
way
listen,
of
I
life.
offer up North Dakota in the United States for all the jerky people to go live. I don't think that state does anything for us. So, just saying.
I don't know enough to, be part of the
There
mocking
you
of the
go. I'm just
states.
saying, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
They can have Alabama too.
Texas? What about Texas?
I think Texas has too many products that we might need.
Mm, okay. And,
I
their
guess.
music, music is good there, around there. So,
Well, Texas has Papa Do's restaurant, and so
oh, I
they
don't
got
know.
like 20 there. I want for Texas.
Some food needs to be protected.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. Just some things.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
I was thinking about doing that, but I got excited to have a Spanish deck because I was like, so, there's is
It's a
and
process.
and it was disappointing that, I was expecting there would be a lot of Spanish decks, or maybe, I just sucked at searching for it because I was trying to go with what Amazon was suggesting in Spanish to try to Google it. So there might be tons that I couldn't find,
Correct,
but
correct.
I
You
was
just gotta
disappointed that
look in the
because
right way.
like half of the US speaks Spanish, like a big majority of people there. So I was like, where are the Spanish decks? Where are the mass market Spanish decks? Like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, because once again, like many African Americans, many Spanish speaking people grew up in the traditional church where what was our indigenous religion was stripped away from us as being bad, evil, demonic, horrible, and awful. And so
Yeah.
you got to get down with this psychotic God. No disrespect to people who believe, but you look at God in the Old Testament, he's like, dude, did you take your
He's
medicine
an angry
today?
one.
Because you were nice one day, and then the next day you know. So,
Yeah.
but the one thing that the white church has done so well with people of color is made us feel guilty for our own gifts, made us feel guilty for our own magic. So you won't
Yeah.
find many Spanish decks. You'll find more and more because you didn't buy them. That's why there weren't black people on tarot decks. People get mad like, because we weren't buying the decks because we were too guilty. We didn't want to make Jesus mad.
Yeah.
We didn't want to go to hell. So I'm not going to
Yeah.
get my tarot deck. Well, now I got the tarot decks, and my Spanish speaking brothers and sisters are bit by bit leaving the Catholic Church and leaving church, the Protestant church, and you'll see that. But yeah, talk about unlearning.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised, but I wasn't, because after a while you're like, okay, I understand why. But I just wanted to say that I'm my plan is to translate the guidebook, like little tiny bits
Oh, I
and
see.
learn.
That's what
So it's not
Oh.
just like using
okay,
the
not just the card. Okay.
because it's very
Where's
like
my
swords.
where's my hashtag overachiever? Oh, I want to translate the little white book,
Exactly.
Jeez.
That's why
You have
setting
that
up
for Ben.
setting up you're so
you
high
have
that
that
you're
with
not
you all
going
the
to do
time.
shit.
Yeah.
See,
Wow.
But maybe just to end on a little more lighthearted way is maybe knowing how do you say wands in Spanish is not a bad thing. Just saying.
That's
Just
Just
saying.
works
there you
out.
go.
Just works out.
There you go.
Indeed.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
There you
the
go.
Pope.
There you go.
That's one powerful white dude.
And what is going on with him? He seemed to be sort of robust. Now I see he's in a wheelchair and jumps. It's like, what happened?
I mean,
I
it's
don't
age.
know.
I think, like maybe COVID.
Okay, I'm just saying that my
I
favorite
don't know.
Pope was Pope John Paul. He would seem to be just, it's like, dude, what's
Yeah.
going on with these last couple popes? They getting their karma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, there were some like two popes before or someone. I can't remember which one was the kind of better. Who was speaking up for gay marriage and accepting each other and being more tolerant. I can't remember which one was that. Maybe the current one. I can't keep up with popes.
That's what I'm saying. When he first came out, he seemed to be, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the too little, and even if it's kind of funny that the Pope is the ultimate power in the church, his word should carry weight. But every country is like, oh, we don't agree with the Pope now on this topic.
Exactly. I mean, technically, he's just
Wasn't
the Bishop
his-
of Rome.
Yeah, like he isn't
Mhm.
he like the what's the expression, like the earthly whoever to God.
Correct.
So his word
Yeah.
should carry weight, and sometimes it's a pick and choose with that one as well.
Indeed.
Okay, if you want to end on something funny, because
All right,
Minnassa
here we
has
go.
to leave,
Indeed.
her
Yes,
daughter's wanting to see Auntie Kay's comments about
Which one?
curses. There was a question about what's wrong with the Pope, and Auntie Kay said curses,
Curses.
LOL.
Oh.
And then my comments
yeah.
below, it wasn't me, Auntie Kay.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Let's straighten it out.
So yes,
There
we're
may have
about
been a
love,
curse.
not cursing the Pope. They're gonna end on that sentence.
You're gonna end on that.
So.
Then don't blame Gerald.
Wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Indeed.
I'll own it if
Indeed.
I did it. So
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
there
mean,
you go.
I
And show your
all I
nail
do is
polish, Gerald. I see you finally that you do all
I
your
see
nails.
that.
Yeah.
I did.
Because first I
I
like
have
see it
the
on the show. I
sparkly.
got one and then just one. Yeah, mine's supposed to be sparkly too. It's time for me to
Oh,
get
I
mine
should have
done.
done pink. I have
Yeah, I'm
pink.
getting mine done.
Yes,
Getting mine done.
we're
That's right,
matching
pink.
the nail. Oh, cool.
Nice.
I'm getting mine done on Friday.
Nice.
I did it 2 days ago.
Well, Orshi,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
I
got
don't
a
know.
reading at
Yeah.
3:00 my time, and I got to plug back in my
Yes, of
iPad.
course.
But this was
I need to go to
wonderful.
sleep because work is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, my God, what time is it? 10:30?
9:30. So
9:30. All right.
She's tired. She has to go to bed early.
okay.
Me too. So I'm not
Okay.
going to make fun of her. Not going to make fun of her. I'm not going to make fun of her. I'm one of those.
Well,
people.
I can take a nap right now if I need to.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I mean that's a luxury.
So,
Indeed.
well,
Okay,
there you go.
let's awkward and honestly, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna continue. I mean, and because this is a conversation that only it's a good thing only if we continue.
True,
It's not a
true.
conversation that we're done with. So
Yes.
If you watch the replay and you have an opinion, please share. This
Indeed.
is I'm not gonna judge you for anything you want to say. Honestly, I hope this is a safe place. If someone is rude or say is saying inappropriate things for a reason and on purpose, I'm gonna kick you out. That's all I'm
Indeed.
saying. So
And
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna
I'm not
say
tolerating
that.
harassment and stuff like that. So
And I say, Orshi, this is a perfect time for me to be on your show if you want to do it again on another Sunday. Just saying.
Ooh,
okay,
there you go. So long as there's no storms.
Well,
yes,
yeah, we worked it out with my iPad, so yeah, it's
I have better light
Beautiful.
for for
it's just
later.
right.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye
Thank you so
bye.
much. Bye.